Hey, what's up, everybody? It's James Evans with the Kilted Team. I actually I think it's all messed up. Sorry about that. I'm in my car today and I'm trying to figure it out. So if I looked upside down or right side up, sorry about that. But it is James with the Kilted Team. I'm here for another edition of live real estate questions and answers. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot of my favorite dog store. It's called Doggo Lovers on 427 Ronald Reagan, right by, what is that over there, Church? Yeah, Church and 427. It's a great dog store. I get all my dog's food there. The owners are really nice. So, I have a lot I want to talk about today, all right? But first, I have a really cool thing to say. And that thing is on Saturday, tomorrow, I'm going down to Bradenton, Florida to say happy birthday to a woman turning 99 years old. 99. Jordan's grandmother, she is turning 99 years old. She is actually a huge part in our wedding in November. She's our little flower girl. So we're really excited to go see her. So if you would like to say happy birthday to Miss Grandma Dort in the comments, I would absolutely love that, and I'd be happy to show them to her on Saturday. So happy birthday, Grandma. We'll come see you soon, and we love you. So first point of, actually, the gift card. Oh my gosh, the gift card. So Wednesday I didn't have a video. Unfortunately, my mom's been having a lot of doctor appointments. So the video winner, gift card winner person, y'all get it, from Monday is actually David Puddles. If you don't know David, he is a pressure washer, actually called Puddles Pressure Washing. And he is also the president, like the regional president or the president of, oh my gosh, what does Puddles do? No, not Best Buddies. It's like Best Buddies. Optimist Club. There we go. David Puddles with Optimist Club, but he also owns Puddles Pressure Washing. Super nice guy. Him and his wife Sherry, great people. Highly, highly, highly recommend them. But congratulations, David. I'll be getting in touch with you about how to get you that $25 Wawa gas card. You can use up to fill up your truck that, gets 3 miles to the gallon. But there was a report that came out about Florida income. And the thing that I really, 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 really want to share about, and I'll post the link in the comments, or at least the photo. Median income for the state of Florida was $54,820. All right, $54,820. This is the median income. It puts us like 15th in the nation. And the reason I bring this up is I reached out to my lender, Tim Huey, with Novus Home Mortgage. We had that video together, remember, the 45 minutes? And I said, Tim, give me a scenario of a person at today's market, right? Like pull the market rate today. He didn't tell me what it was, but assume it's somewhere between 6.5 and 7.5, right? So he pulled the rate. This Jane Doe has no debt, no car, no credit card, no student loan, nothing. They make exactly $54,820, right? And they're just a plain Jane W-2 income. There's nothing special about this file. 660 credit score, okay? Fairly average score. The maximum budget was about $2,000, like $2,057. I don't remember exactly what he typed, but it's like a $250,000 house after tax and insurance. That is a very difficult number to buy in Seminole County. Now, this was a median household income. All right. I've talked before about down payment assistance, and you can go look at that video again. But it's becoming more and more important for people to be really, really smart with their finances, or, and some of y'all are going to hate me for this, or make more money. The number one way to get ahead in life, all right? And I genuinely believe this. This is coming from my heart. The easiest way to get ahead in life is to make more money, all right? The reason being, it is way easier to make money than to save more, all right? It has nothing to do with your ability to get a new job or anything like that, all right? I'm not relating to anybody's skills or anything. I am simply stating what I believe to be true, that it is easier to make more money than to save more out of what you make. And the reason for this is it costs a finite amount to live, right? If you live in Central Florida, your rent will be $1,500, right? Minimum. $1,500. So that's what, $17,000, $18,000 a year in spending just on rent, right? Then you gotta have food, then you gotta have insurance, a car, you gotta have some money to go out. If you got a dog, you gotta pay for the dog, feed the dog. You gotta feed your kids, you gotta clothe your kids, you gotta do all this stuff, right? $54,820 buys a $250,000 house. That's tough. That's tough. You know, man, I can get you out in maybe Howie in the Hills over there for that. I can get you, you know, maybe way out in St. Cloud, but I can't get you $250 in Winter Springs. I can't get you $250 in Longwood. Now, that's not to say there aren't a couple of homes, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, in these areas that meet that price point, but it's just a very difficult price point. You know, when you look at Seminole County, our average home price is almost $400,000. It's like $387 or something like that. So when you're talking about the median household income in Florida is $100,000 below the average price of the county that they live in, hey man, that's tough. That's tough. And it has nothing to do with you. Right? If you make that money, if that's your household income, listen, I'm not ragging on you. I hope you understand that. The point of this video, and this is the second part, the what can we glean from it. The point of this video is to say I'm in your corner. All right? I'm in your corner. I am one of those guys that you put in your circle because when I level up, I want to make sure you're leveling up. I'm going to ask you about your income. I'm going to ask you about your savings. I'm going to ask you about how you're making money. I'm going to ask you about your goals and how you're progressing in life. Okay? I'm in your corner. And that's what the point of this video is. What can you glean from this? If you're not making the money you want to make, let's talk. Let's talk. Right? I'm here to better you. Like if you want to be in my circle, you gotta level up. Because I'm leveling up and I take my people with me. But I can only afford people who benefit me as well, right? People who are on the same wavelength. It doesn't matter if you make 3 times as much as I do or I make 3 times as much as you. We're on the same wavelength where we're both always thinking, how do we progress? How do we move forward? How do we get better? You know, how do we better our lives? We only get one shot at it. May as well make it the best you can. So that's what we can learn from this video. Now, there are some other things I want to talk about. There was a Live Local bill that just got passed. Yesterday was the Realtor Days in Florida, which is just a fancy way of saying Orlando Realtors and a bunch of other regional realtors go up to Tallahassee and they lobby the Capitol. So one of the things they did with that was Governor DeSantis signed in the Live Local bill. Now, the bulk of this bill benefits developers. And when I say benefit, it's actually a pretty good bill, all right? I'm actually pretty pleased with it. Realtors supported it highly because it gives more grant money and more incentives, state incentives for developers to build affordable housing, okay? Now, affordable housing is a legal definition. I don't know the exact definition, but understand when you talk about affordable housing, you're talking about below average rent. But when we say below average rent, you also have to remember rent is really freaking high, okay? This is one of the things that I try to tell people when buildings are going up in local areas. Oh, it's going to bring riffraff and transients and thieves and robbers. Let me tell you, if the building rents for $3,000 a month, There aren't even teachers and cops living in those buildings because they too poor. All right, you're getting accountants and lawyers and well-to-do realtors. Like, $3,000 is not chump change. That is a $350,000 mortgage. So when we're talking affordable housing these days, we're really just talking about how can we help the middle class? How can we help those people making $54,820? So a lot of these incentives are pretty cool, but the one big thing that came out of that bill was they sent another $100 million to Hometown Heroes. All right, this has been one of the best programs I've seen come out of Florida down payment assistance in years. Florida is notorious for ripping apart down payment assistance, and they just refunded Hometown Heroes. To me, that makes me think it's going to be a permanent program, which is awesome. If you're a nurse, teacher, there's hundreds of job titles. If you're relatively related to like the medical or nursing or education or law enforcement public services field, you're probably qualified. To give you an idea, massage therapist counts as a medical person. Not to diminish massage therapy, but it's not who I think of when I say medical, right? I think of nurses, doctors, things like that. So they just refunded that. That was super cool. Now, real estate going forward, what's happening? Well, I also talked to Tim, my lender, the same guy who gave me those numbers. And real quick on those numbers that I gave. There are regulations in real estate. I think he follows under Regulation Z. But basically, the numbers that I gave you, that $2,000 and $250,000 purchase price, that is just for today, for that person at that exact moment in time, all right? That quote is not necessarily good for you. It's just to give you an idea, all right? So there's the Regulation Z disclaimer. But the next thing I really want to talk about is the federal funds rate by the Federal Reserve, okay? So 2 weeks ago, the Federal Reserve had their I think it's every 8 weeks they meet, and they publish what's called the Beige Books. So if you've never read them, now you know they exist. I bet most of you don't know they exist. But these Beige Books are basically just economic indicators, all right? Everything from lumber prices to CPI to yada, 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 yada. They're super interesting if you like economics. They're super boring if you don't. You know, I used to read them every time in college when I was going to school for economics. But their press release said they are heavily, heavily upset and heavily targeting their 2% inflation rate. Now, if you saw February's CPI report, you notice that there were some sectors that were 11 to 17% inflation. Real estate was at like 17, right? So what that means is we're way above that 2% target, which means the Federal Reserve, in my opinion, will not let rates come down, okay? Reading this press release, it's a lot more aggressive than their previous ones, the last 3, in fact, and they really harp on the 2%. They also just increased the federal funds rate. What is the federal funds rate, you ask? The FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, something like that. They're the ones who trade the bonds out of the New York Fed to lower and adjust the 10-year Treasury reserves, right? And they have increased their federal funds rate, which is the rate that they sell money to other banks, to 4.75% to 5%. So the way this works, the way this affects interest rates for mortgages is if I'm a bank and I can buy my money at 5%, which is what the Fed is selling it for, I buy that money for 5%, I am not returning it for 6. Or I'm not returning it for 5 or 6, I'm gonna return it for 7 because I need a margin, a profit on that money, right? So I don't think rates are coming down this year. Personally, I think rates, we're gonna see 7% even in December. Now, I will say, my lender Tim disagrees with me. He thinks we're going to see it lower. He thinks the March CPI report coming out will actually have them reduce it. I disagree with him. I think the lowest we see it this year is 6.5 on an open market, and I think the highest we may see is 8%. I might be wrong. We'll find out. You know, let's all check back on this in December. But I hope this has been a fun one. Be sure to ask some questions and comments in below. I'll get you some kind of gift card. Maybe let's do Publix, right? Everybody's worried about, you know, paying for stuff. Easter's coming up. You need to buy that ham, buy that turkey. So we'll give a Publix gift card away. Be sure to ask some questions. Say happy birthday to Grandma Dort. And let me know what you think about this 54,820 median household income in Florida. What do you think? I'll post a link in the comments, and I'll also post the press release in the comments from the Federal Reserve if you want to read it. It's been a great one, everybody. I love y'all. James Evans with the Kilted Team. Have a great day. Be good. Oh, wait. This is the weekend. It's Friday. Oh! Have a great weekend. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.